Hi everybody, I'm Rob Raybon, and on today's video we're going to talk about drift stuff. Last week I went to a Ready Set Drift event with my friend Sam, and I didn't record anything dealing with my car. But I did record a few of Sam's runs, so I'll put those in the video too because Sam's awesome and it was actually a really good learning experience. One of the things that nobody really talks about with drifting and learning how to drift is that you should probably go for a ride along with one of your friends. Never get tired of that sound. Originally my intentions were to take the Skyline and use that as my drift vehicle, but Amanda's BMW is currently broke and she wanted to go to a couple events this year too, and I'm a really good boyfriend like that, so I let her borrow my car. So that means for the last couple events I had to take this thing. I love this car, I've had it for 10 years, but it's very unruly. It's really hard to control, and I'm just really getting started on learning how to drift. For some people it seems drifting comes really easy, but for a lot of others, like myself included, it's a very humbling experience. I take a lot of pride in my driving abilities, but when I got this thing on the track for the first time, it sucked. I spun a lot. Some of the people that worked at the track asked if everything was all right. It was embarrassing, but it was just me, just sucking. Seat time is very important, and this year I really want to get more seat time. But one of the things I don't really hear many people mention is that you can learn a lot from going for some ride-alongs with some other people. Before last week, I only had one ride-along, and that was with Vaughn Gittin Jr., and that's not really a good reference point. Because Vaughn Gittin Jr. is one of the best drivers in the world, that kind of sets you up for a standard that you're not going to achieve anytime soon. The guy's been drifting longer than some people have been driving. That's the best time I've ever had in a car. Good, man. And I've gotten a lot of cars. So driving with Sam was a really good experience. It showed me what is possible in a car with really not a lot of modifications. And it really makes me want to fix my FoxBody. But anyway, let's check out some of his driving clips because they're pretty awesome.
Fun.
I've been friends with Sam for a few years now, and his FoxBody only has a few small mods. It's a manual swap, but there's no hydro. It does have a little bit of angle in it. The motor was rebuilt recently. It makes pretty decent power, but it's nothing crazy. You really don't need a lot done to a car to drift. And again, that's why I said the 2011's a little bit overkill. You can see just within the week I've gotten so much vegetation and pollen all over this car. Springtime's cool, but pollen's killing me. Allergies suck. The roof is supposed to be black, but you can see it's got like a yellow kind of dirty tint to it. And then all this stuff, I don't even know what this is. It's like seaweed. There's a little bit of noise in the rear now that I still need to figure out. I need to do like a kind of a nut and bolt test of this car. You can kind of hear something shaking around. Hopefully it's not any of the bearings in the rear. I actually think it's the rear shocks making noise. I got Vikings on the car, which are more for drag racing, but it seemed like there was a little bit of play in the shocks when I checked the rear before I went to the event. You can see I went off maybe a couple times. So all this dirt is from Pocono Raceway. I wound up using these TSW wheels that came on Amanda's car when we bought it. These were the fronts that were on it originally. They're 255/35 20s. They actually seem to grip up pretty well, but I kind of want something a little more grippy. And I'm gonna try to find some 18s soon. One of the main reasons that I want to try to find some 18s is because I think we are gonna do an angle kit soon. In case this is your first video of seeing this car, it's a 2011 5.0 manual trans. It's on spacers, and I got these prototype RTR fender flares from my buddy Vaughn Getting Jr. It's a Tiger Racing hood. The color's my own concoction and Auto Flex. The steering rack limiters were removed, and I do have a hydro in the car. I got a dual caliper bracket from Hotline Performance that's been on the car for a bit. It was pretty easy to install. It took a while because I broke one of the bolts inside the diff, and it took a while to get it out. The car's tuned by Rev Automotive. It has Flowmaster exhaust on it, and it has a big old Paxton supercharger that you can kind of see peeking through the Tiger Racing hood. This car is really hard to control because of the power, I think. And when you're trying to learn how to drift, you got to have pretty good throttle control. The other big issue is the electric power steering rack and not having any kind of angle mods. So it has stock caster. There's a little bit of camber up front, but it's not much. And the car just spins a lot. But enough excuses. You also got this really nice wing. For the rear suspension, we got the Vikings, and we got some H&R Super Sport coils on the rear. The front is BC Racing. I really want to get some BC Racing shocks for the rear, but I don't think you can buy just the shocks. If anybody's watching that works for BC Racing, please hook me up. And then we got our TMI seats. They're really comfy, but they lack a little bit of support. Isn't a big deal because they just spin out anyway, but eventually I'm gonna need some sort of other seat. This car is really fun, but it does get a little frustrating trying to learn how to drift. So we're gonna be changing a few things very shortly, and I'm pretty excited about that. So hopefully my angle kit shows up soon and some other stuff that I have planned. I got other project cars to deal with, but this really takes priority right now because I want to be able to drive and learn how to actually drift a little bit this season. I really love this car, and I don't want to wreck it or anything, but I feel like it's a solid car. It's really dependable. It's got more power than I'll ever need. I can drive it to the track and drift it for hours and then drive home and not have any kind of issue. So slowly we're going to be doing a few more mods to this car just to make it a lot more driftable. Everybody says you can drift on stock angle and you shouldn't worry about big angle kits or anything right off the bat, but the steering on this car is just so bad that I really think that I need a little bit of angle. So we're gonna be doing that very soon. So that's it for the video. I know it's a little bit of a shorter one, but I just wanted to get something up while we're waiting on some parts and some other stuff to pan out, as always. But I hope you enjoyed it. We'll have some more stuff on this car very shortly, and I do swear this time I'm gonna record whatever happens at the next event, which is May 15th, which is coming up really soon, actually. Hopefully my angle kit comes in by then. I doubt it, but maybe, I don't know. Either way, we're gonna film it and everything and see how it goes. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon.